Every second, two people celebrate their 60th birthday, marking a profound demographic shift. By 2050, there will be more older people than children under 15 for the first time in history. In 2012, 810 million people were aged 60 or over, and by 2050, this number will reach 2 billion. Life expectancy is rising, with developed countries projected to reach 83 years by 2045 to 2050. Currently, 2 out of every 3 people aged 60 or over live in developing countries. The number of centenarians is expected to grow from 316,600 in 2011 to 3.2 million by 2050. Non-communicable diseases accounted for 73.9% of global deaths in 2019, heavily impacting older adults. Globally, 47% of older men and 23.8% of older women continue to participate in the labor force. Only 28% of the global population lives in countries with comprehensive social protection schemes. The COVID-19 pandemic disproportionately affected older individuals, with the majority of deaths occurring among those over 50. In a survey, 43% of older individuals feared personal violence, and 53% found it difficult to pay for basic services. In 2022, half of all Americans aged 65 and older lived in just 9 states, including California, Florida, and Texas. Common chronic conditions among older adults include arthritis, hypertension, and diabetes. In 2023, 59% of older adults lived with their spouse or partner, while 28% lived alone. In 2022, 33% of adults aged 65 and older reported having a disability, affecting their independent living. In 2023, 11.2 million Americans aged 65 and older were working or actively seeking work. 90% of older Americans reported using prescription medications in the past year. Between 2021 and 2022, 37.1 million family caregivers provided unpaid care to older adults. In 2022, 10.2% of adults aged 65 and older lived below the poverty level. The racial and ethnic composition of older Americans is shifting, with 25% identify as minorities in 2022. In 2022, 1.3 million older adults lived in nursing homes, with the percentage increasing significantly with age. By 2022, 89% of older adults had completed high school, and 33% held a bachelor's degree or higher. In 2021, 78% of households headed by people aged 75 and older owned their homes. In 2022, 71% of adults aged 65 and older reported receiving an influenza vaccination. Physical activity levels among older adults vary, with 27.3% meeting aerobic guidelines in one survey. Older men are consistently more active than older women, with higher adherence to physical activity guidelines. Adherence to physical activity guidelines declines with age, with the lowest rates among those 85 and older. Strength training is less common, with only 16.7% meeting guidelines in one survey. Physical activity levels are influenced by functional limitations and race ethnicity. Trends indicate an increase in adherence to physical activity guidelines over time. The aging population is reshaping societies globally, with significant implications for healthcare systems. Addressing the needs of aging populations will require innovative approaches to quality healthcare and policy planning. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like.